Good morning, student. Today my topic is a cause of sports injury. Cause of sports injury in unit number 9, sports and medicine chapter. According to my book, the topic is in page number 202. What is sports injuries? There are various cause of sports injuries. Which will in these topics. Number 1, improper conditionings. Improper conditioning is the cause of sports injury. For better performance in sports, it is necessary to do proper conditionings. If proper conditioning is not done, there may be maximum changes of acquiring injuries. Without proper conditionings, it is but natural to get injured in sports. Number 2, improper warming up. Improper warming up is the cause of sports injuries. Improper warming up, जब हम वार्मिंग अप करते हैं गेम से पहले, हम प्रॉपर तरीके से नहीं करेंगे. हम कबड्डी की गेम के लिए हम वार्म अप कर रहे हैं और हम उसमें जो है बहुत ही कबड्डी के अकॉर्डिंग हम वार्मिंग अप नहीं कर रहे हैं. हम सिंपली जो है हैंड रोटेशन या हम एक प्रॉपर तरीके से वार्मिंग अप नहीं करेंगे उस गेम के अकॉर्डिंग, तो हमें इंजरी हो सकती है. इनप्रॉपर वार्मिंग अप, इसे समझते हैं हम लोग. ड्यू टू इनप्रॉपर वार्मिंग अप एथलीट and sports person may get injured during training or competitions. In fact, players should be properly warm up to avoid injuries. These are 2 points. And number 3 points, unscientific way of training. जब हम unscientific way of training के हिसाब से हम गेम के अकॉर्डिंग वार्मिंग अप नहीं करते हैं, तो हमें इंजरी हो सकती है. There are maximum changes of occurrence of the sports injury to be the athletes who perform training in an unscientific way. It means an athlete should have proper knowledge about training. He should have knowledge about overtraining and the undertraining due to ignorance of scientific laws. A sports person may be easily injured. Number 4, lack of fitness. जब फिटनेस की कमी होती है हमारे बॉडी में, शरीर में, हमारे जो है जो बॉडी का मूवमेंट है उसमें फिटनेस की कमी होती है, तो वहां भी हम इंजर्ड हो सकते हैं. फिटनेस डज नॉट मीन ओनली फिजिकल फिटनेस बट फिजियोलॉजिकल एंड साइकोलॉजिकल फिटनेस ऑल्सो. If a player is not automatically physiological and psychological fit, athlete may get injured easily. It is also said that unfit individuals is more prone injuries to in the field of sports. Number 5, nutritional inadequacies. Lack of proper nutrients in food may also be a cause of injuries to players. Bones fractures may occur to players due to lack of calcium, phosphorus, vitamin D. If the amount of food is less than the requirement, there may be increased chance of getting injured. Number 6. Lack of sports facilities. Injuries are usually faced by sports persons who lack proper sports facilities. If the ground is not smooth and there are ditches in it, there can be sprain, abrasions, or even fracture to a player and sport person. If equipment is not proper, injury may also occur. Number 7. Indigenous officiatings. If a reference is not officiating properly, or if he is the best, there may be maximum chances of injuries to player during that matches. The general rule of the game are not obeyed in such type of the matches, and consequently injuries begin to occur. Number 8 points for cause of injuries. No use of the protective equipments. During sports competitions, if players do not use protective equipments, the chances of the getting injuries are common. Nowadays, games and sports have become so fast that it can be dangerous to participate in games without the protective equipments. There are many delicate organs in human's body whose safety is necessary. Sometimes substandard quality of protective equipment may enhance the chances of getting injured. Number 9 points. Practice during the stage of fatigue. It is but natural to get fatigue at the time of practice. If a player continues participate even after getting fatigue, his chances of the getting injured may increase. In fact, players' anticipation power decrease after occurrence of fatigue, and as a result of that, athletes may get injured. Number 10. Pressure of competitions. The most of the players fall prey to the injured due to the excessive pressures or stress of the competitions. Stress increase mostly in the international sports competitions. At the time, dignities it is attached to player countries. Athletics exert maximum force usually beyond athlete player capacity. In such a conditions, the player may be injured. Number 11. Carelessness during the game. During training or competitions, there may be some moments when players do not remain aware and conscious about the game. In fact, they become careless about the game. At such moment, they may get injured due to the carelessness. Number 12, recurrence of injuries. रिकरेंस ऑफ इंजरी का मतलब है पुनरावृत्ति, कहने रिकरेंस माने दोबारा से इंजरी हो जाना। कई बार ऐसा होता है कि चोट पहले कभी लगी हो खेल के दौरान और कुछ समय बाद अगर दोबारा वो चोट वापस लग जाए उस जगह पर, तो रिकरेंस ऑफ इंजरी हो जाता है। When a player gets injuries twice or thrice, it has been seen that recurrence of that injury becomes a usually phenomenon. It usually happens to such players who start playing before completely recovered. Number 13, improper sports equipment. Improper sports equipment may also cause injuries to players. Such equipment must be the international standard. Number 14, overuse of muscles. Excessive repetitions or movements is also their main cause of injuries. Generally, races, swimmers and tennis players, badminton players, cricket players may fall prey to injuries who do not excessive repetitions. They may get various injuries such as the tennis elbow, tendonitis and shoulder impingement. Impingement means चोट लग जाना, चोट। शोल्डर में कई बार impingement हो जाता है, चोट लग जाती है शोल्डर में, तो उसी के बारे में बता रहे हैं। The 14 is a complete cause of sports injury. Next, prevention of sports injury. स्पोर्ट्स इंजरी से कैसे रोका जा सकता है स्पोर्ट्स इंजरी? Prevention of sports injuries. The life of a sports person is valuable. Sometimes a sports person gets such an injuries that player cannot take part of the sports again. In a way, player's sports career may come to an end. However, many types of the sports injuries may be treated such. Even then, it is a fact that prevention is better than cure. That is why most of the athlete or sport person want to reduce of elements the chance of the injury while performing training or participating in sports competitions. Sports injury decrease the amount of time a sport person may spend on the sports training. Sometimes due to the injury, a sport person cannot participate in sports competitions. It may have a negative impact on the sports performance. Famous sports scientists suggest that the injuries rate can be reduced by 25% of sport person take appropriate steps for the prevention of sports injury, which are mentioned. There are the 11 types of the prevention of sports injury. Number 1, proper warming up. पहले भी हम पढ़ चुके हैं. Warming up. What is warming up? Before proper warming up, before sports training or participation in the sports competitions, proper warm up is essential. It definitely reduce the chances of getting injured because muscles remain in tone up positions. Getting proper warm-up. A proper warm-up routine should be on minimum 10 minutes. Start warm-up with a few minutes of gentle exercises such as jogging, slow running. Increase your pace until you are running briskly. After 2 or 3 rounds of the track, do some of the stretching exercise, especially of the body part that you will be using in sports. However, it does not mean that you should not do the exercise of all part of your body. Such type of the warm-up is always helpful in reducing the chances of sports injuries. Number 2, proper conditionings. It is a well-known fact that many injuries are caused by the weak muscles which are not ready to meet the demand of your sports of games. So for the getting proper muscle strength, proper conditioning of your both is the essential. Weight training and circuit training method are significant method of the proper conditioning. These method of the conditioning in proper the neuromuscular coordinations, which is also helpful in the preventing sports injuries. Number 3, balanced diet. A balanced diet is also essential for the prevention of sports injury because the lack of the essential minerals and the vitamins such as the calcium, phosphorus, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin C, etc. make bones weak. Weak bone usually lead to sports injuries. Hence, a balanced diet can prevent sports injuries to some extent. Number 4, proper knowledge of sports skills. The very important point. Proper knowledge of sports skills. Proper knowledge of sports skill is beneficial for the preventing sports injuries. A sport person should be efficient in performing the related sports skills. For example, a high jumper should have proper knowledge and efficiency in the loading skills. If player is not efficient in the skill, player may get injured while landing. So, if you have deep knowledge of sports skill and are efficient completely in the performing those skills, who can prevent injuries to certain extent. Number 5, use of the protective equipments. It is an easy and the best way to prevent sports injuries. These protective equipment protect the sports persons from getting injured. It is only due to these reasons the protective equipment are essential in the game and sports. The stress should be laid down on the quality of protective equipment. Proper sports facilities. Number 6 point. There is a direct relationship between sports facilities and sports injuries. In fact, sports injuries can be prevented if good quality of sports equipment and proper sports ground are available for practice and competition. If playground are maintained properly, the chances of the getting injured on the playground will be the reduced. If the landing pit of the high jump is made of firm mattress, the chances of acquiring injured will be minimum. Those high jump who use the Fosbury flop jump in the high jump, the technique of the Fosbury flop technique. If such landing is not available, there will be maximum chances of getting injured. Number 7, unbased officiating. If officiating, especially in team game, is unbased, such chances of the getting injury will be rare. If the officials of the match are based, there may be the more chances of the indiscipline among players, which may lead in injury. Show unbased and proper officiating can prevent such sports injuries up to some extent. Number 8 and the last point of the prevention of sports injury: use of the proper techniques. Using proper technique of your sports or game may reduce the risk of the acquiring injured, such as the tendonitis and stress fractures. If you are not sure about the appropriate techniques, you may learn it from a qualified coach. There are the 8 points, and complete today topic is the cause of sports injury and the prevention of sports injury. And related to the question, I will give you the assignment and give your copy in the proper way. There are, I saw that some students are not done the proper way in the homework copy. So give the best with assignment, and I give some question related to this topic in the assignment. So complete my topic और आप इसको प्रॉपर तरीके से देखेंगे और समझेंगे. Okay, thank you very much, student. Best of luck.